So now I'm going to show you how to make a graph in Microsoft Excel. I'm using a Mac here, and this will look different if you're using a Windows machine, and also it will look different in different versions. You can refer to online information that's there, put online by Microsoft, if you want to know details about your version. But the principles are really the same. It's just different where you can find the information exactly and what it looks like. And for different programs, for Google Docs and for OpenOffice, we have got videos for those. For Microsoft Excel here, so I've got my data for my database searches. I calculated the percentages, and now I want to make a graph. So in the Insert ribbon, there are various options for graphs, and I find it easiest to select my data first and then click on the graph symbol. It is possible to do this the other way around. So I'm going to select this because I want these labels on the horizontal or x-axis, and holding the command button, or for Windows the control button, I'm going to select these values. So I'm not selecting the total because I don't want this to show up in the graph, and I'm not selecting this column because I want to show the percentages only and not the number of records. So once I've selected these, I'm going to choose my graph. I want to use a bar chart or a column chart, and I choose the one I want, and this produces this chart. Then I've got different options for editing this. So there are the chart design ones and the formatting ones. So it's quite similar really to the Google Docs, where you also had these different options, more for things like color and size, and then more things for more content-wise. So the main ones here, and I would recommend to just try different things in there, but the main ones are adding chart elements. So you can choose, you could add a legend, labels, and I'm going to add titles. So in contrast to Google Docs, no automatic axis titles were added, and I'm going to add one for the x-axis by clicking there. And this is the condition, the overall site condition technically. And I can add one for the y-axis as well. And this is quite good because I click next to it and you can see this disappeared. So if you're wondering where this went, just click on the graph and then it opens up again. And I can add one for the vertical axis. So this is the percentage of records, and you can add anything. And something else that I could do is I could change data or add more data. So now I've got one series. I've got the numbers, the percentages for the overall database. But perhaps, like in the example that I showed you in the beginning, I want to add different regions to compare them directly. And I can do this here. So this one I already selected, so it's visible here, but I could add a new series by clicking on the plus. And this would add this, and I would have to select this, here the Y values, in the range, the name. So this is the way to do this. In this case, I don't have a second series, so I'm not going to do this, but if you want to do this, this is the place to do it. Then once I'm happy with it content-wise, I can start formatting. So things like, do I want an outline? What sort of colors? What sort of, anything really to do with what it looks like. And what's the easiest way really is to open the format pane by clicking on this button. And this opens the format chart area pane here. Then I can select here what areas I want to format. So the chart area, different areas, maybe the series of records, so these bar charts themselves. So if I do that, this gets selected. I can also click on them to select them. And for example, here in fill, I could change the color. So maybe I want it to be orange. So in that way, I can change really anything in what it looks like. And well, I would recommend again just to play around with this, just to try everything if you're not already familiar with this, just to see what all of the different options do, and so where you can find what you want to change.